How did ancient civilizations survive when their world turned cold and hungry? We picture them in their glory, pyramids under blazing sun, bustling markets, philosophers in sunny agoras, but their longevity was forged in scarcity. They were true masters of adaptation, facing relentless ice ages, devastating droughts, and unpredictable climates with remarkable ingenuity, practical problem-solving, and a deep, time-tested wisdom passed down through generations. These ancient people didn't just survive, they thrived in some of the harshest environments on Earth, constantly learning and evolving to meet new challenges. Without the comforts of modern technology, they depended on strong social bonds, collective effort, and a vast store of accumulated knowledge. Their ability to cooperate, share resources, and teach each other was essential for survival. This is a true masterclass in resilience, ingenuity, and determination from some of history's greatest survivors, people who refuse to be defeated by adversity. In this chapter, we'll explore how the Maya, Aztecs, Egyptians, Sumerians, Chinese, and Greeks overcame cold, famine, and disaster through ingenious architectural secrets, agricultural miracles, and complex social systems, sometimes making difficult, even brutal choices to ensure their survival and shape the world we know today. First, surviving the cold. The Maya, in steamy jungles, faced cold snaps in highland cities. Beyond fire, they designed cities as solar collectors. Stone-paved plazas absorbed daytime heat, radiating warmth at night. Their thick-walled buildings acted as thermal mass, while common people wore layered capes and animal skins, understanding insulation principles. In Egypt, mud brick was the key. Its high thermal mass kept homes cool by day and warm by night. Enclosed courtyards captured sun, while braziers provided direct heat. Egyptians adapted clothing too, weaving heavier linens and using wool cloaks for cold protection. The Aztecs, in their high-altitude basin, used woven reed mats as insulation, hanging them in doorways to block drafts. Their genius was clothing. Thick tilma cloaks woven with knotted rabbit fur created lightweight, effective insulation. Extended families living in shared compounds conserved body heat. Sumerians built sophisticated mud brick houses with covered courtyards and double walls for insulation. They used heated stones from fires to radiate warmth indoors for hours. In the vast, chilly northern plains of China, where winters can be especially harsh, people came up with something truly ingenious to keep warm: the Kong bed, or Kong for short. This was more than just a place to sleep, it was a marvel of practical engineering and daily comfort. It's a large, raised platform made of brick or clay, with a network of flues running underneath that connect directly to the kitchen stove. As meals were cooked, hot air and smoke traveled through these flues, efficiently transferring heat into the bed's thick structure. The waste heat, you see, would warm up the entire thermal mass of the Kang, which then radiated gentle, lasting warmth throughout the room, making it a cozy gathering spot for the whole family. And you know, their creativity didn't stop there. They were always looking for ways to improve home heating. They also perfected the art of making charcoal briquettes, compact, efficient, and portable sources of heat that could be used in braziers or small stoves, making life in those cold northern winters much more comfortable. Over in Greece, people came up with their own clever and practical designs to deal with the climate and their way of life. The Greeks built homes that faced inward, featuring windowless exterior walls for privacy and protection from the elements. This design allowed central courtyards to capture the sun's warmth during the day, creating a comfortable living space, while bronze braziers provided portable heat on chilly evenings. And let's not forget their heavy woolen cloaks, known as himatians, which were a staple of Greek clothing. These versatile garments offered reliable protection from wind and rain, and were especially valued for retaining warmth even when damp, making them essential for daily life in ancient Greece. But, you know, dealing with the cold was only half the battle. Famine was the greater threat they had to contend with. The Maya transformed swamps with raised fields, earthen platforms surrounded by canals. This created fertile, temperature-buffered land for multiple yearly harvests. They practiced agroforestry with diverse crops and stored food in sealed granaries. The Aztecs built chinampas, artificial islands in lakes, creating unbelievably fertile land that yielded 7 harvests annually. State granaries stored surplus, and drought-resistant amaranth provided famine food. In crises, their cosmology led to human sacrifice, a desperate attempt to appease gods during ecological disaster. Egypt's entire state apparatus focused on famine prevention. Massive granaries stored grain during plenty for distribution during lean years. The principle of inter-annual storage. Crop rotation and irrigation systems managed the Nile's unpredictability. The Sumerians, faced a real challenge with soil salinization caused by irrigation, so they responded by shifting to salt-tolerant barley and, developing these really complex canal systems. Temple-controlled grain stores and a harsh debt system provided short-term crisis survival. In China, they came up with the ever-normal granary system, which helped stabilize grain prices by buying up surplus and then selling it during times of scarcity. The adoption of fast-ripening champa rice honestly revolutionized agriculture since it allowed for multiple harvests each year. The Greeks, for their part, diversified their crops with olives and grapes that could survive those dry summers, and they established grain-producing colonies abroad through colonization. Wealthy citizens were expected to fund grain imports during shortages. So, common patterns emerge: agricultural diversity, strategic food storage, and trade networks. And when these failed, societies often turned to debt slavery, migration, or even ritual sacrifice. The lessons for our modern world, honestly, are pretty clear. Resilience comes from diversity. Don't rely on just one crop. Storage and strategic reserves really help buffer against disruption. Social cohesion, enables collective survival. But most importantly, adaptation is essential. The ability to change crops, technologies, and systems when the old ways just don't work anymore. These civilizations weren't primitive. They were actually brilliant survivors. Their struggles teach us timeless tools of resilience. By studying how they endured cold and hunger, we kind of arm ourselves for whatever challenges our future may bring. Always prep by getting your long-term food supply from READYWISE. Links are in the description.